Ora Team, welcome back to Bonneyville. Welcome back to Transport Fever 2. Welcome back to PlayStation 5. Welcome back to my channel. Hello, I'm Long John Silver. Pleased to meet you. Thank you very much for joining me. If you are joining me, hit that like. Why not? It doesn't cost you anything. One click away and everybody's happy, especially me. And if you're liking, please subscribe to the channel. Why not? Again, doesn't matter. Doesn't hurt you a bit. Helps me an awful lot. And feel free to check out all of the other things on my channel, videos, memberships, etc, etc, etc. It's all good. Right, so here we are. We're back at Bonneville. It's 1904. 1904. Stuff has happened. Stuff has changed. Don't look at the bottom right-hand corner of the map. Yeah, look, I've been running around doing stuff. I've got all the overlays turned off so that things don't look absolutely bananas crazy. It's interesting that you've chosen to do that with that road there and build a swimming pool. Is that a swimming pool? What is this? Is this under construction? I guess it's under construction. I've just stopped it as it's in construction. Yeah, so what have I been doing? Well, I continued on from the live stream and I continued on from the last episode, which is I've been going around and massaging cargo needs and cargo demand. And as you know or will know if you are a player of the game, that is really that is the game. So it never ends. So you change something, which changes something else, and then a town wants more stuff, and then you change things, and so on and so forth. So I have been going around doing that. Inadvertently broke a line or two over here. It's being repaired. That's what I can say about that. Had a look at a few things, made sure a few things were working. I added in some more boats. We'll have a look at why I added in some more boats in a minute. I haven't done much else over here. And I added in some things down here. Yes, I did say I was going to do it. And I did eventually do it. So this is coal, as you can see here. So this coal is now going direct to the steel plant. This is the steel plant, which is great. And it looks like we have some steel waiting here, which is fine. And we have some steel waiting here, which is also fine. The finished goods factory, which requires steel and plastics, and you can see they got an abundance of steel and they got an abundance of plastic. So they're ready to start hooking into the network somehow, and we're going to have a think about that during this episode. They're on this side, so I opted to kind of keep it simple-ish, and then I did this bridge over. I'm not super happy with it. It's fine. Look, it does the job. I hope Transport Fever 3 has better options. I mean, I'd like to make it somehow prettier. From that kind of perspective, but I'm not super sure how I would do that. I might have a think about that one. So that's fine. So they're all connected via road. This one and that one and this is all connected via road. Because they're not actually that far away. And I feel like running a train up here would be superfluous. But I did run a train over here, and as you can see, this place is absolutely chocker-chocker, which is fine. I did a very low bridge because there's not actually anything down here that I want boats to go to. This is the end of the map. So I don't need boats going under here. So I've kept it very low, which is fine, and I think it works out okay. You know, and it kind of keeps the price down, etc., etc. So there's a single train that's doing that, and he's fully loaded, and we're staying on top of that. This is the sort of stuff that we're not kind of staying on top of, and I kind of knew that, but we're by no means at total capacity of trucks yet. And hopefully it won't be too long before we start getting a better supply of diesel-powered vehicles, and we can start increasing the amount we're shipping per vehicle. So I then carried this through here, and we have the train, and the train drops off here. I did contemplate hooking it into this one, but to do that, I would have had to have deleted this whole cargo hub that I plonked on the end, and then I would have had to rejigger a few bits and pieces and everything else. And actually, these three are all connected anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So I can definitely look to ship goods into the network to this train station via this train station without any intervening trucks. And then the trains that are down here can connect into the rest of the network, which is fine because we've already got trucks that are going here, so they can absolutely go back that way with goods, which is fine. The issue that I had was that this is obviously on this side of the track, and this, which is our plastics factory, is on this side of the track. And just so we are clear, there are four tracks here that you can see. And the reason that there are four is because I've allowed for the future proofing for connecting in a passenger network somehow. So remember I said I was going to think about, we have a passenger station here, and I was going to think about how we might connect over this way. How and or whatever we do that, I don't want. I feel like this would become very congested if I tried to get passenger services this way. So I figured that I would probably run passenger services on this side. Whether the passenger service runs up this part of the map and connects us to Columnar, that might be completely different. But for this side, my conclusion was that there'll be a passenger line through here. So I added in the extra line. Now that left me with the problem with how I was going to get these people over here. Um, Without it being crazy and without a crazy bridge and with a tunnel and everything else and all the rest of it. So, you know, the the way I did that was the way that you will have seen on my intro, which is how do I show you how this is done? I think what I need to do is if I go to road and I do that, yeah, okay. So mountains hide a myriad of sins. So the train went in flat. So the train went in flat because obviously we want the flat train. Trucks probably less of an issue. So my intention was to go under the train track. Oh my word, going under a train track under a mountain, somewhat of a nightmare. So effectively, I've hidden it, which is fine. I had to determine how deep I had to go out here, and then I had to draw two deep lines of roads through here, and then I had to connect the tunnel, and then delete those roads, and then bring the surface roads in and connect those to the deep tunnel, and then that's how we did that. And that's why it's this kind of, you go in, you can see there, the trucks disappear under, and then they go under the train track, and then they come back up again. And you can see that the road down there is resurfacing. So that's what I did there, and that consequently hides all of that, keeps it kind of neat, and I've allowed for extending a rail network through there for passengers. How in heck I do that, given that we have these lines on the wrong side? Don't know yet. I mean, I guess the reality is what we'll have to do is we'll have a crossover. We can do the crossover in the tunnel as well. We can hide it in the tunnel, and then we can have the crossover occurring, and the passenger train track will just run past here and connect up to a train. What are you doing here? what? What is this? This is this? Oh man. This is an interesting choice that you're making here regarding the side of this mountain. I may be deleting this at some point. It's over here too. Anyway, um, yeah. So I can do that anyway. So that's what I did, and that's that, and that's fine, and that's kind of helping because we now have You know, we now have this chappy over here with the potential for steel. I don't think I'm running steel in here. Oh yeah, I am. I am running steel in here. Um, where is my steel train? There he is. He's not very big at the minute, uh, but that's fine because this guy doesn't need a huge amount of steel. The issue that he's having is timber, and I'm trying to sort that out. It was to do with the size of the trains that were going over here collecting timber. There is enough timber over here. I assure you, there's like 1,600 and something timber over here. But it was an adjustment in train sizes. So that's all fine. So that's what I did. I've hooked that in. That's all hunky dory. My passenger line. I have changed my passenger train. Where are you, passenger train? Is this you? No, that's my freight train. That's not you. You all the way up at the top? No, where are you? I tell you what, let's find him the easy way by doing this. Ah, there you are. Right. So we've changed this chappy here. As you can see, we've got a different logo on this now, and we've got a couple of different carriages. And as you can see, he's full. The Pullman carriages are full, which is great. It's showing me that he's making 370,000, which is still not quite enough. If you remember, originally we said he needed to make more like about 500,000, so he's not quite making me enough. I mean, obviously it says here that we've got roughly 500,000 ish, and there are times when we get more than that. I'd like him to be making slightly more to be comfortable, but there you go. The main thing is, so we have now the 442 Atlantic, and you've seen the six-axle passenger car anyway. Interestingly enough, so the 442 higher power, lower tractive effort than the 10 wheelers. So the tractive effort on the 10 wheeler is 160, and on the Atlantic it is only 100. So he's not really a good shunter, but he will work well for the passenger wagons, because the passenger wagons, they're never going to be passenger wagons, passenger cars. There's never going to be an awful lot of passenger cars, and they're going to be easy. So he will get up to speed faster, and he'll travel at 100. This was limited to 80. This is now, will do 100. So we're now running a little bit quicker. And we're coming up to speed a little bit more. So this line's going to run a little bit faster, which is great. Just another thing, so we have this 10-wheeler, which is our kind of gruntiest cargo shifter still, for now, until we get a new one in that's got more tractive effort. And we obviously, I did say we had in these new tanker cars. Now, the problem with these tanker cars is that they take more effort to pull. So this gondola is 15 ton, for example. This gondola here is 10 ton. So you can pull 3 of these for 2 of these. So, and here's where the math comes in. And as I've said, I'm dreadful at math. 2 of these is 24. 3 of these is 21. The issue being that I have tried a couple of lines with the 10-wheeler and the modern stuff, and you end up pulling less overall capacity before you hit the poor ranking on the bottom, which means we're not going to be hitting our top speeds, etc. So at this stage, for the really super long cars, the trains with lots of wagons, this 10-wheeler, because it has higher tractive effort, is still the better vehicle. For some of the shorter ones, this one will be better because it will come up to speed faster. So there is that. There's the top speed related issue as well. So these obviously only go at 50 and these go at 80. So you're gaining 30 kilometers an hour. So it is a bit of a toss up. And I'm gonna gradually be working through the lines as the trains come up for renewal. Um, with the Atlantic to see where we can make benefit and where we can't make benefit. So it's not always abundantly clear that you can just basically chuck in the newest thing like these and that and you'll get the right result. You actually have to sit and have a little look at it and think about it, and is it going to actually work for you for whatever the situation is that you're doing. So that's what I've been up to. That's what I've been up to. That's what I've been up to. Um, so all of that's very interesting stuff, isn't it? And we've run in an awful lot of trucks and various other bits and pieces and whatnot. In terms of the condition of our vehicles, um, I've been trying to get ahead of it. It is hard. I have been doing a reasonable job in that. Oh, we'll have a look at this. We'll have a look at this train for you while we're doing this. And like I said, I have been doing 50 at a time. So you see now, there's not as many as there once used to be. So we're getting a little bit better with that. And I haven't had the opportunity to move much of the max. So this is the Villa de Cannes coleslaw freight truck, or freight train, which is in very bad condition, which we need to renew. So 23 tanker cars and 14, I think it looks like stake cars. Is that right? Flat cars with side stakes. Yeah. So 23 and 14. So Coslada. It would be nice if we could get that to move along slightly quicker. It's a fairly long route, so we would then need. Blimey, you're going to ask me to do math now, aren't you? Um, we would now need. What's 23 sevens? 161. So 161 would be blimey, some stuff. Hold on, I'm gonna get a calculator. Right, I'm back. So 23 oil wagons is 161. Now, to get the same amount with the larger wagons that carry 12, these things, we would need 14, and that would get us slightly more. For the stake cars, we've currently got 14 stake cars, which is carrying 98, right? Um, so to replace those, I would need 9 of the larger stake cars. So let's have a look and see what that does. If we use the bigger wagon, can we get that? That would just give us the same. Well, it's slightly more than we're currently carrying. So we go here and we say, what did we want? We want 14. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Right? And that's fine. And then we need 9 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There you go. That's not too bad. So that's still on mediocre. So this one seems to be okay. Yeah, 4 more would take us beyond that. So we don't need that. So we can possibly add up to there. So we've added in some more. We'll buy that, and that's jolly good. And if we go to the bottom, because all the new stuff ends up being chucked in at the bottom. Gosh, 1,283 vehicles. It's really, the game's having some pause when I try and duplicate things. So, where are you? You are here. So 14 and 12, which is absolutely fine. So there you go. So that's what we're kind of going through with that. I probably need to be back up the top again. So he is now improved and off and away, and he will run a little bit quicker, and he'll make that journey a little bit faster because he's he's able to pull, the wagons are able to go faster, etc., etc. So we've got all that going on, which is just tickety boo. And the cargo is what the cargo is. Um, Antiquera is now in need of construction materials, which is fine. Validicans finally decided it did want to have some more stuff back, so it is working on that, which is great. Palenthea decided to get a little bit bigger, which is fine. It also wants some more stuff. Um, and I don't think we're getting anywhere with Columnar Viejo at the minute. It's a little bit of a problem child, that one. We're going to have to work on that one. And Tomaloso wants machines and food. And Kozlata is still sort of sitting where it is with construction materials, etc. So, that's not why we're here, though. Why we're here, though, is because I wanna think about passenger. Now, I think because this is our passenger line, so I think getting some passengers to Tomaloso would make sense, and I think that we can work in, like I said, getting this passenger line system set up between Arrecife and Tomaloso and Coslada. But let's do it one at a time. So Tomaloso's over here, and this is where all the residential stuff is out this side of the map, which is great. So I want to have a look at an end station down here, right? And a fairly big one. So I kind of want this down here. Do I want it in the shelter of the hill? It's gonna, cause it costs more money. Or do I want it over here? Or do I just want it in the flat? And just have everything else around it, I suppose. I'm kind of inclined just to have it out in the open. I guess to do that, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to run a couple of streets in, which is fine. So we'll run a street out there. Not at that level though, I don't think. I think I want it down at the ground level as much as you can. You're only doing this because there's that hill in the way. Is that level? It comes down a bit, but I think we're okay with that. And then this is the level that makes sense to me. And that's not... You're suggesting that you think that that is 90 degrees. Are you sure? Okay. I'll take your word for it. It doesn't look exactly 90 degrees to me, but what would I know? Right, and we have our train station, and we can wonk our train station just right there, just right in the middle. And obviously what we want to do is we want to chuck in a passenger stop. Let's just see, how does this route go round? Hard to see. They're going round that way, they're going round clockwise. So if the route's going round clockwise, we probably want to carry on doing that. We can have them, there's a place where they can cross right there. So what we'll do is we'll go in here, we'll adjust this line. So after Cali El Jefe, we'll go to the train station. And then you'll head off to Cali Oviedo, and then you go back to Cali to Tokyo. Interesting name. And that'll sort you out, and that will be hunky-dory and fine. What's the story with you guys? Bad condition. We'll replace you with the Mac, and then you won't be in bad condition, and you might be able to sort that out. What's happening over here? Is this the out-of-town route, the commuter route? You're also a variety of people. I've replaced some of you, but not all of you. We'll replace you while we're here. So that's that source. So right, so anyway, train station. So we've got the that's a cargo station. Did you know that was a cargo station? You're like, what the deuce? what we need is this one, which is the passenger station. Thank you. And we'll put that back in the same spot. Right, so we have this. Let's do a little bit of the old flatten, and make this a little bit flatter. And I probably want to have that launch out there a little bit. So we'll kind of flatten a few things around here to make this look less crazy. Like that. And then we'll whop out the old smoothie. And we'll do a bit of that. And we'll have that. And that will be sorted, I think. Right, okay, so that's that passenger line. How the heck are we going to get over here? I was kind of hoping that we might somehow make use of this bridge so that I don't have to do multiple bridges, but I don't know how I'm going to do that. I don't know, now that I'm here, I don't know how I'm going to do that. I'd have to do a crossover on the bridge. Do we want to do a crossover on a bridge? Do you know how hard it is to do a crossover on a bridge? The game really doesn't like it. You try and do this, and it starts to get really annoyed. That's actually not too bad. It's recognizing that that's possible. So it's possible to do a crossover on the bridge. I don't. If is deuce. Because the problem is the lead into this. If we, what I wanted to do, I don't know if you remember, what I proposed to possibly do was do an from the underground. So from under here, for example, um, you know, come out, stay flat, so that you're under the ground. So probably don't need to worry about the speed because you're slowing down on the approach to the station anyway. So you could, in theory, we could, in theory, come here, and then we would, you know, we'd have this big underground tunnel, and then we would come up above ground around the outside of this, and then cross over and go up that way. It all seems very convoluted to save myself one bridge, doesn't it? Da 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 da. Yeah, it does seem very convoluted to save myself one bridge. I mean, I'd be running the line right along here on the outside, then connecting in, then crossing over, then coming up the coast to here. The alternative is that this is going here anyway, and we just head straight over, sort of just outside this farm. We can delete this road because it's not really useful for anything. And, you know, in theory, we can just run a bridge over and a loop in, and then that would come there, and then that could come there, and then it could come back again. It's a bit more, it's a bit of a longer journey for the cars to make, I think. Well, I mean, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, I suppose. The thing is, with this one, obviously, we got to go high. So, we got to go high. What was the height on this? This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was like 6 high. So we have to go like 6 high over here. So if we're starting here, let's go back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we were to go over here. That's our $12 million bridge that we've talked about before. But that's the kind of height that you need. You can see the large vessel there will just probably squeak under that. It's not showing any collisions with the routes. So we'd have to be able to do that sort of there. I probably want to maximize my turn, so I probably want to do it here, and we would go boom, right? We would do that, and that would be that. And then from here, we would loop down to there. How's that look? Well, that looks crazy, but that's all right, because what we're going to do is we're going to delete that. We'll delete that, and then we turn that into like a crazy embankment, as we normally do. That is a crazy embankment, but that's fine. And then we would run that track in there, and then we would change this into an actual useful bridge, like that. So that's what we would have. That would be, it is big enough for these large ships to get under, which is jolly good. And these are now my new large ships, which are these crazy rinky-dinky paddle wheel boats. They carry more stuff slightly and they move faster. We had an overabundance. We had an abundance of wheat here, as you can see. So I added in some more. Remember, we're having problems with this food production up here at Columnar. So I'm trying to get this production cranking. It seems to be a shipment issue. Is he just leaving? Yeah, he's leaving with 23 out of 28. So we're getting a little bit better, but we're going to have to sort that out. Anyway, so where were we? We were there. We were here with this thing. So that is going inside. So we would then need to, well, let's draw a straight line from here and see where we get to. Ooh, it's snug. It's really snug. We'll just squeaker past it. We can squeaker past it at that angle there. That looks good, and that's still 120. And then we will delete that little bit, and we will then make this an embankment, and then we will go back to doing this. Right, so there we are. So this is then the road out. And if I brought him in there, I have to bring him in there to keep the speed up. So that's fine. That's okay. So we bring him in there. Albeit, I think I realized that I've now connected that to the wrong side. I'm not super happy about that wonky donkiness in terms of the angle. Why are you've come down quite a hefty chunk. Is that because of I haven't leveled this guy out better? Let's just, yeah, what is he doing? I would like you to stay there, and then you're not messing with my angles, young sir, because we're coming up a bit, and then I think that this line here is what we want. Yeah, heading out. He's heading in. That's correct. We just need to make sure we get that connection at 120. Right, so they're connecting at 120. He heads off down here. And then there's this unfortunate dip. And then into the great hereafter. Anywho, and then this guy is gonna come all the way over to here, carry him all the way over to here, and then you hopefully can connect to the correct node. you should, in theory, hopefully be able to whop in here somewhere. No? Are you a problem child? You are a problem child. Come on. That's better. Oof. Right. Come on. Node. Right. So then you two are joining together. You look reasonably normal. Your heights are slightly different. That's not the end of the world. And what we need to do is we need to delete just the signal, please. Just the signal. Could we just delete the signal? Thank you. And also just that signal. And we will put in a signal here, and a signal here, and a signal here. Right? And that keeps us all honest. A little bit close to that one maybe, but this is passenger line, so we'll probably be okay. And then we whop it on over there, and we will need to put in our points to allow trains to swap over, which is fine. You can go there. You can go there. Right. Sorry, a little bit of the old smooth some of that on the approach, which is fine. And then we have this craziness over here, which we will most definitely smooth out of the way. So we'll smooth some of that and some of this down here. Right, that looks like stuff. I was going to say normal, but that might be taking it too far. Go out here. Got a touch of smoothness happening there. Don't want to mess with these guys' fields too much, but there you go. So we've got a touch of smooth over there and a touch of smooth over there, and that's not desperately bad. What happened there? Why is... Oh, and what happened there? It hasn't adjusted to that. Right. So we have the stone bridge. We have the stone bridge, and the stone bridge goes over there, and that's all cool. And I don't think it's messing with my ships because everybody says they're happy. So that's that. So that's that situation there. So that's all hunky dory and dory hunky. Let's see now. We want to run a passenger line from Arrecife to Tomaloso, and we're going to call it the yes, you've guessed it, Arrecife Tomaloso commuter. Yay! And we have to build a train. So what we're going to build? Well, we're going to use the Atlantic, and I think in terms of speed, we're going to want to start with this. So we started with 32 on the last one, but it did take us a while. So I think I'm just going to start with 1, because it, and I appreciate that it's not going to make a vast amount of money with just 1, but we want to start the process and see how we go. So we've got a commuter line running. We've got our we'll speed this up so he comes out. We've got our shiny new train heading out, which is great. He's going to head out and do that, and he's going to do some stuff, and that will connect Tomaloso up. We had to add a bridge, which is not my ideal, but there you go. That is the state of play. That is how things are. So we do have that additional commuter line now running, and we do have wee Mac buses here carrying people around. You can see someone's already decided they want to go and see their cousin in Arrecife because it's been a while, you know, because there's not been any ability to get over there except for some bloke paddling you across if you ask him nicely. And that's it. So what I might do is I'm going to let this run for a little bit, and then I'll bring you in after things have settled down a little bit, and we'll do a quick recap and see where we're at. I don't know if any new trucks or things are going to come in, or any new vehicles. I can't remember off the top of my head when new vehicles come in, but we're hoping for a little something in the cargo space down here, which would be great. It says these run until 1945, but I'm sure we get something in soon. So I'm gonna let it run for a bit, and then I'll bring you back and we'll wrap up. I'll see you real soon. Here we are. Gosh, this is a popular line. Blimey, there's 76 people waiting. This guy is just leaving and he's full. 100 people. Gosh, people really do want to get out of Tomaloso. So there's a lot of people waiting. So this is quite a popular line. And on this side, 235 people. That's just mental. That is just mental. So a very popular commuting line. So that's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So we'll see how that changes things and affects things. And hey, I don't want to brag and I don't want to boast, but I'm a billionaire. Look at that. 1 billion, 1.1 billion, 1905. That's not too bad, I think, altogether. And that's where I'm going to leave it. A billionaire with my new commuter line up and running. So thank you very much for joining me. If you have liked the video, please click the like. If you are liking, why not subscribe? And if you're a subscriber, why not check out all of my other videos and series? And also consider looking at memberships. And if you particularly enjoyed this, feel free to drop in a super thanks, which would be super. Thanks. Until next time, ta-ta for now.